Hey everybody, welcome back for war number 5 of season 28. I'm fighting for the alliance SAS, and for this war we are matched up against the alliance DSVG. They are a alliance filled with some pretty skilled players. I know Swedeah and Munah are in this alliance, so it's going to be a pretty good challenge. If I recall correctly, they are routinely in Masters. So currently we are sitting at 2-2 heading into War 5. Would be great to escape this one with a winning record. So for this war we have 6 fights. We're starting off on Pass 6 in Section 1, super light first half of the war with just 1 fight. Then we hop over to Pass 7 in Section 2 where we have 4 fights, very similar war to last to War 4, where we have all 4 fights in Section 2 on Pass 7 with the double shared fights. Then we end off our war against a new fight for us. There's a Weapon X on Polka Dot Power, Stunning Reflection, Stun Vulnerability, and True Focus. That's going to be a sweaty one. So here's the team. We get to bring a pretty standard team for us. Human Torch, he's going to take on 4 fights for us, the grand majority of the war. Archangel's there, he is assigned the Modok on Pass 7 in Section 2. And I get to bring Diablord. He's at rank 3, Sig level 40. He's there to end off our war against the Weapon X on Polka Dot Power and Stunning Reflection. It's going to be interesting. I'm super excited to use him. He's a ton of fun to play. And any chance I get to bring him into war, I'm going to be super pumped. So here's our first fight. Node 3, Aggression Fury. Strike back. This is a really straightforward fight. Human Torch against Sorcerer Supreme. Her power gain is fairly slow, so it's really easy for us to keep pressure up and essentially sprint. And the odds of us letting her Fury stacks get out of hand really small here, so I wasn't worried about this fight at all. Try and escape from this fight with as little chip damage as possible, maybe save some potions, while also stressing the importance of getting through this fight as efficiently as possible, especially with the tiebreaker being the amount of time that you spend in your fights. So it is somewhat relevant now, but we hit Nova Flame really early and she's just melting away. So I like to medium light back away, similar to when you're fighting against Mixed Master. I just find that it's more consistent that the AI dashes into you, allowing you to kind of keep your pressure up. So regardless, that fight goes down super smooth, not a worry, no hiccups there, always good to see. And that's the end of our Section 1. So we are hopping over to Node 26 here, Encroaching Stun, Stupefy, and Power Reserve. Really common placement here. We see SASquatch here all the time. So I'm going to use Human Torch. I'm going to activate Flame On here. I'm going to burn my pre-fight. And the only other thing that I have to keep an eye on is pretty much the encroaching timer, understanding that SASquatch is going to have Power Reserve. So if the fight goes longer, the possibility of him spamming specials is pretty high. But ideally we don't get to that point. So I was considering using Diablo for this fight, which is why I have Liquid Courage and Double Edge on, and I, at the last minute, I kind of audible to Torch, and I completely forgot that I had Double Edge and Liquid Courage on, so I didn't even realize this till the end of the fight. But regardless, it doesn't really matter too much, especially since we've used our Flame On here. As you can see, he's melting. We are boosted, so I am leaking a decent amount of health just from my maximum health being augmented, but not too worried here. The first encroaching stun timer is coming around. I'm going to fire my special 2, which should stun him, and he's at less than 10%, and we're able to finish the fight. So he doesn't throw a special. That's almost as good as you can draw it up. So really cool to get through that fight without a worry. We are hopping over to our second fight in Section 2, which is a Modok waiting for us on Node 33, Spite, Rise to Power. Nothing too tricky here, really. It should be a pretty straightforward parry heavy fight. Just have to land our Neuros, be patient. The odds of us stacking 5 to 7 Neuros are probably pretty small here because we have to bait and dex the special 1 here. And apart from that, it should be fairly straightforward. Just have to be mindful of Rise to Power. It's kind of like a mini kinetic transference in a sense. Every time I knock him down, every blocked hit is going to give him power, unless obviously it fails due to the neurotoxins kicking in, but I don't think that happens in this fight here. So there will be parry heavy. I'm just late to parry there. That's completely on me. I end up burning the invulnerability boost, but that's okay. That's exactly why we have it on. we're still at 100% health, and it's just a matter of parry heavy, hope to stick a neuro to, and then just bait and dex the special 1 and repeat. I'm really comfortable dexing Modok special 1. He tends to throw it when you have space, exactly like what he did there. So it's pretty predictable playing against him. As you can see, we've only landed 1 neuro, but it did a pretty decent amount, essentially taking him just under half of his health. And I'm going to do something pretty dumb soon here. I believe I'm going to parry heavy and try and chain a special 2 for no reason. There's no reason for me to deviate from the fight plan. I think I just threw it just to accelerate the fight, but that ends up getting auto blocked. I take a hit. This is the only fight that I use Archangel for, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm not too worried about the chip damage, but it is a technical error on my end, so it's really good to be mindful of that. We end the fight with 4 neurotoxins, so we escape with all 3 attack bonuses with some small mistakes on my end, completely preventable. Those are just focus issues. So we took this fight last war, node 43 aspect of evolution, kinetic transference. I still have the invuln up. Last war, I believe I ate a special 3 right after I burned the invulnerability boost by missing a parry. So I'm gonna try and not do that this time, and hopefully this fight will go a lot quicker. I believe at this point I've taken Liquid Courage and Double Edge off, especially because I'm not using the pre-fight here. So you can see I'm going to try and get to 20 a lot earlier. Last time I kind of hovered around the 10 to 15 range. But the incinerates, they're doing a little bit of work, and that's an error on my end. I thought I stuck the reparry, tried to punish, ended up eating a special 1, but we've been pushed to Nova form. I have no problem blocking the special 2 here. I'm going to take chip damage, but that's okay. Most important is getting through this fight safely. I'm at a special 2, so I know I'm in the red zone. I need to get one more opening, then I can fire it to stun. But this fight is pretty much over, and that went a lot smoother than last time. Still some errors on my end, super preventable, but regardless, still an improvement from our last war. I'm not too thrilled about that. Node 47 kinetic transference. We took this fight last war as well. Feats of indestructible. This is a Mojo, just a giant Mojo waiting for us here. We do get flame on. My alliance mate Bolt, he was on path 8. He dropped off the flame on pre-fight here. And my plan is to just keep pressure up, and since I have an invuln boost, as long as I don't burn it by missing a parry or eating a heavy, I should be able to tank a special 3, because by the time he gets there, the fight should pretty much almost be over. And so the degen that I get from the special 3, it shouldn't really matter. It's just a matter of getting one more opening and finishing. But here we go, he throws a special 1, I'm going to block it, I'm going to block most of it at least. He's at a special 2, and at this point I'm deciding I'm just going to push into the special 3. I'll try and buy time off the clock. I still have all 3 invulnerability hits in the bank. So he throws the special 3, and at this point I know I'm okay. He's at pretty much 20% health. I'm at almost a full bar of health, so whatever degen I get off the special 3, it's not going to be enough, I hope, to kill me before I can finish him. And as you can see, it's ticking, but he's pretty much dead. So all good. That was fairly clean. Made full use of that invuln boost. That led to all 3 attack bonuses, and that's the end of our section 2. So we have one more fight here. This is a new matchup for me. This is Weapon X on node 53. Polka dot power, stunning reflection, stun vuln, and true focus. And I'm using Diablord here. So ton of precautions on my end. I'm using the Grain of Uru pre-fight. It's pretty much useless here. It's kind of like a second invuln in case you accidentally parry while your window is up, which ideally shouldn't happen. So the game plan here, bait heavy at the start, then we'll medium until a poison sticks, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm pretty familiar with Weapon X's mechanics. Once he hits 25 rage stacks, he's going to go into berserk mode, and he's going to be unblockable for that entire time. But the plan here is to hopefully limit the amount of time that he's in that state. So we get a good start. We stick a poison. Because he has rage stacks, his first heavy with those stacks is going to be unstoppable, so I was mindful enough not to punish there. And it's just a case of trying to land poisons, let them do the work, parry heavy, kind of let the damage over time tick him down. We've gotten lucky enough that he hasn't hit rage mode yet, and this is my first mistake. I'm going to fire off a special 2. It's going to push him into rage. He goes unstoppable, and I get punished. Totally on me. I lost focus of his rage stack, so now I'm under pressure. So at this point, this is where polka dot power kind of messes me up, because the power gain is obviously a lot slower and it's a lot less predictable. And out of the corner of my eye, I thought I had a special one ready to go after this combo, but as you can see, a split second too early because I don't have the special, and I end up whiffing. He's able to retaliate and punish. There's 1, 2, a few crits. That one doesn't crit, luckily. Another non-crit, and his last hit crits, and I have bleeds on me. So I don't know how, just had to dodge against the wall, and the last few ticks of that poison ended up finishing him off. So I thought I was dead. Luckily enough, we were able to fade that by a few seconds, and that's the end of our war. So this was a wild one. The final score was 9-9. We were tied, and it ended up going down to the tie break. And as you can see, we were at 9,723 seconds to 9,788 seconds. So we won by just over a minute's worth of fight time. Super, super close. Definitely stressful. But obviously super, super grateful that we were able to get away with the win there. Another update from my end, this is the last war of the season for me. I'm headed off to a work trip for 10 days, which is just unfortunate timing with how that lines up with the season. But my Alliance SAS, the officers, they were great. They were able to accommodate. We have someone filling in, and hopefully things should run smoothly for them for the rest of the season. So best of luck to the fellas there. Hopefully we get to secure a sweet master spot, but that is the end of the season for me. So thanks for stopping by. Catch you soon.